In this tutorial, we'll be looking at the Home tab, different methods of selection within Sibelius, the Instruments and Staves dialog, bars and rests, and the inspector. You can see here I have one of the Sibelius demo scores open, and before we get into the Home tab, I just want to show you something really quickly that I find very useful. If I press P for play, and then spacebar to stop, you'll see that the score changes its zoom level. This is actually a feature in Sibelius, so you can have a different zoom level for playback or for editing. I find this a little bit annoying, so one of the first things you may choose to do is go up to Sibelius and to Preferences. In the Score Position section, uncheck Use Different Zoom. Hit OK, and now, when I select the first note and play back, my zoom level stays exactly the same. And when I stop again, nothing changes. Very, very useful. Okay, so let's have a quick look round the Home tab. The first section is designated the clipboard and is exactly what it says on the tin. Cut, copy and paste, which work in exactly the way you'd expect them to. But this feature here, Capture Idea, is very, very useful. So let's find a section of the score we want to copy and create our idea from. So I think this is the main Cor Anglais tune. Let's have a playback. Perfect. Then all I'll do is hit Capture Idea. Now this has copied it into the Ideas clipboard. So if we then go over to View, Panel, Ideas, you can see now that it's copied my section from Symphony No. 9, The New World, into the Ideas clipboard. This clipboard is now universal across all the scores that you open or create within Sibelius. So you can use this little idea, this little snippet, in any of your other projects. We'll talk more about the Ideas window in future videos. I can also select an area of the score and export this as a graphic. So for example, if I just wanted to create a graphic from this area here, it's now bounced that into my clipboard, and I could then open up something like Word or other word processing document and paste that graphic image into that file. The Instruments section is very, very useful indeed. We've already seen add and remove. This is very similar to the way we created a score in the last video. And if I choose to add, say, a brass instrument, let's add that to the score, but let's put it right at the top so we can see it appear. Hit OK. Now it's giving me the option, do I want to change my layout size? I would always go yes. And now here we have the Chord in F. I can get rid of that by Ctrl Z to undo. Next down we have instrument change. Now this is very useful when maybe one part is doubling another. So for example, let's just click on this note of the bassoon, then go to instrument change, and let's say for example this is going to change to clarinet in B flat. So hit OK. You'll see that we not only get the corrections, clarinet and B flat, we also get a key change and a clef change. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that. And we get the instruction clarinet in B flat. Zoom out again. Now at the moment we are viewing the score as a transposed score. This means we're looking at the individual instruments in their written keys and written clefs. If I hit the transpose score button so it's off, we're now looking at a concert score. Generally when I input notation I use a concert score so I haven't got to think about different transpositions for different instruments. So I can very, very easily see whether notes are in range or out of range for that particular instrument and how it will look on that particular part. Also in this section we have the Ossia staves. So we can choose to put an Ossia staff or a smaller staff above or below, either for cueing or if that particular range of the instrument changes to need to go into a different clef. So for example, if we want to add an Ossia staff here above, there we go. I can now add that notation in as much as I need to. The add bars section of Sibelius is very simple but commonly misunderstood. If I select this bar here and hit add bar, what you would maybe expect to happen is Sibelius to add me a new bar at that point. Actually what it's done is it's added a bar to the end of my score. That's because in the drop down, the default, or the first thing you see, is add bar at end. If you want to add a single bar at the location where you are currently positioned, add single bar is Shift Command B. So if I go back, hit Shift Command and B, we now have a new bar added at my location. Undo that. And let's just scroll along to the end where I have now this extra bar. Now, one of the most commonly asked questions to tech support for Sibelius is how do I delete a bar? As we discovered before in the previous video, if I select a bar and delete it, all I actually do is delete the contents of that bar. If I want to delete a bar, the contents and the bar itself, hold down Command and click that bar until it turns purple. Now when I hit the delete key, it will not only remove the contents of the bar but also the bar itself. If I have multiple bars at the end of my score that I want to get rid of, hold down Command, now hold down the Shift key to multiple select and hit delete. So let's just go over that one more time. To delete bars, Command and click. To delete multiple bars, hold down the Shift key and select those and hit delete. The split bar feature is also very useful. If I select that note there, hit split bar, give me the option to add different bar lines, so let's add a dashed bar line, hit OK, and now it's split that bar line across two systems. If I want to undo that, hold down Command, select that side, Shift, select that side, and join. There we go, all back to normal.